All right, good morning, y'all. Coming back with a recap. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into today's recap. I'm doing it early because I got to get the kids ready shortly. I'm sure my kids. I apologize if they come here and make a noise. That's definitely possible because it's about wake up time for them. Okay, so this morning, what is this? January 6th. My pre-market charts where I look at the top three stocks moving in the pre-market, and the first one I saw was INPX, and so of course I do my same deal. I have the daily, the hourly, and I apologize, I gotta fix the typing. I move quick in the morning, so I don't worry about fixing it because I only have about usually I get to the market at about I don't know like maybe 5:50 ish, and it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to break down each stock. So anyway, so I have the daily, hourly, 15-minute pre-market chart. Okay. All right. So what I saw with this was some continuation. This was on my list. If you watch my breakdown from last Friday, this was on my list. So here's what I did after looking at all those charts. Okay, I said the stock has continuation with this breakout of the lows on the 15-minute chart. There's a really strong support at 41. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Pre-market has strong support at 50, which is also backed up by the 15-minute chart. I would like the stock to pull back to the 50 area at the open, in which I am a buyer. The optimal zone today is the 47 area, but with the 50 being a whole number, it may hold. If it spikes at the open, I will draw additional lines and if needed after the 15-minute mark. Basically, I'm saying I'm going to reevaluate if it don't work out. All right, so here's the hourly, and of course we can see it looks really consolidated, and so this is why it's smaller. This is why multiple time frame analysis is good, because if you look at this on the daily, you don't know much what to do. Hourly, you got a better idea. On the 15-minute, okay. Oh, I put it in. That's not the 15-minute. Let me jump out quick, and we can go do it here. Here we go. What is this stock? INPX. Okay, 15-minute. I put the same stock in chart in twice. I'll have to fix that. This is what was going on here. Okay, so this is today. This is the open, right? And you see that red, and you're like, oh, that looks nasty. How did you make money? Okay, so I seen this clean area at 41. If the price, like to me, the best place to buy this, I would love to see this thing just sell off all morning and hit here. This is the bounce area. This is where I would buy this stock. Okay, I would love to take the most risk right here because it's going to see if that gap holds. Okay. Anyway, I said the 41 area is good, but I also said that there's consolidation, basically consolidation from 58 down to 41. And I talked about pre-market that there was a good support at 50, right? And so now let's go show you what I saw pre-market so you can understand why I was making that decision, right? Okay. Yeah, pre-market. All right, here we go. INPX on the pre-market. So here it is. This is the 50 line. Okay, this is all pre-market action. And for those of you who don't know, pre-market is it's trading by people in the U.S. who have the ability to trade pre-market, and then it's also trading. You got to also remember that other markets are in play that trade American stocks, right? And so I can't forget who go. I think it's Japan who's closing. Like the Asian area is closing when we start to open, right? And so what you're seeing is the movement from pre-market American traders who have the ability to trade pre-market, in addition to some of the other Eastern markets that are getting ready to close. So this is what you're seeing when you see that action, right? So anyhow, it was clear to me that this is a pivot area here at 50, okay? And then this is an even stronger pivot area here at 47, which is why I said 50 is a strong area. I like 47 better. Look at this huge candle, okay? I just did a video on candlesticks the other day. This is a very strong, what you would refer to almost as a Moribatsu candle. So there's a ton of buyers here. It tells me that they don't want to let it drop below this price. So essentially, 50 was the area that I chose, knowing that people like holding half numbers. Okay, traders like to, they 50 cents, that's half a dollar, they know. Okay, $1, $2, whatever. People love buying the holding half number. So that's the only reason why I was more willing to play this at 50, because to me the better area is 47 by far. Okay, based off of today's pre-market. In addition with the hourly and the 15-minute that said it was consolidation in this area. And if these areas cracked, then the best area at that point is going to be 41, which is what I said in my daily. Okay, so that was one that I looked at. LLEX daily plan. Okay, it says stock has some continuation from last Friday's breakout of the lows on the area. On the 15-minute chart, it has a clean support area at 44. However, pre-market shows support at 60, with the optimal pre-market buy at 50. That actually should say 7. We'll see when I go to the chart, but I put 55-ish. Okay, if stock pulls back to 60, I am a buyer. If it spikes, I will wait 15 minutes and reevaluate. Okay, all right. There's the hourly. Here's that clean. See this? Boom, it came here and it came down and then it came from here and then boom. This is why they say old resistance is new support. That's what that statement means. But don't worry, I got a video coming on that. My episode 3 should probably drop today or tomorrow. Anyhow, you see this, okay? So this is why I said that 44 area is a good area to buy, right? And then the 15-minute chart backs that up even more. Again, boom, comes here, pivots. That now it was old resistance. Now it's support. Gapped up, came here, and pivot, right? I like clean areas like that. I like clean charts. This is a good, clean-looking chart. Okay, pre-market. Here's what I was seeing. Okay, so you see this. It was way up here, came down. If I put this line here because of this very clear pivot at what price? 60. Okay, actually it's at 61-ish if you look at that, truth be told. But here, you go even further back pre-market, and you see this here. Okay, this is a very strong candle. There's a lot of buyers. And then you see why I said 55-ish, because, of course, at the time you see 55, you bring this over. This is probably at 56, 57. So that's why I said that. Okay, so I'm saying the optimal place is here, but clearly 60 is holding. What is 60? Again, it's a whole number again, right? You get to 60, people want to buy there because they understand that if it moves, all it has to move is 6 cents, and you got 10% profit. Okay, so it's just a numbers game. VWAP was at 60. So there was a ton of reasons why this was good. So I was interested in this one. Okay, so the next one that I broke down was GHSI. Daily, I said here's the game plan. Stock is gapping up to a good support area. There is a clean bounce area at 33. Pre-market is choppy. The optimal buy zone per pre-market is about 45-ish. Stock has been working down all morning. May wait for a bigger crack to the 33 area. So what I'm telling you is I wasn't really feeling this one. It was choppy, but we see the hourly. Okay, we got some clean areas. Now you see why I said 33. See this pivot right here at 33. The 15 minutes shows that same pivot, even more precise. It's at 32, but 33 is still a good number to get in at. Okay, pre-market. See, this is ugly. Look at this. I did not like the way that this looked pre-market, but it was clear that this 45 area was a pivot area. It looked like crap to me. And my good buddy Ron would say crap means can't recognize a pattern, right? I couldn't recognize it. It just looks ugly. That's why I said I think I'll just kind of, if this one, I'm going to play this one, I'm going to let it crack big and be a buyer down in the 30s, okay? So that was the game plan. Now let's go to live time and see what happened. So what did I end up doing? I usually take the first one that does it. Okay. I was looking at INPX because INPX had, it was the #1 leader pre-market volume. And if you know me, I like to party with everybody at. Okay. So, there was a lot of people there pre-market. INPX is at 47 right now, 58 million. LLEX is at 13 million. Now INPX has a huge float. Look at that, 184 million on the float. Let me go see what LLEX's float is real quick, because it's all relative, right? Let's see, LLEX 69 million. So their float is a lot smaller. It's half of that one, which means the amount of volume right here. Let's see, 6 minutes. So they're at 20% float right now. And let me go to INPX real quick. And I apologize if you don't understand some of this. I can't help that. But I am putting classes together to teach you guys so you can understand what I'm talking about. And these classes are free. Most people will pay thousands of dollars. This is my gift. My gift is this. And one of my favorite instructors always said your best gift should be free and then charge them for everything else. So this is one of my gifts. This is free. But if you don't understand some of the things that I'm saying, it will make sense to you later. Okay, this is 184 million, so 10% at 18. This is at a little over 30, just about 30% of its float as well. So it's all relative. Okay, meaning the same amount of volume needed to make a move happen is happening in both of those stocks. I chose this one because it hit faster. The other reason why I chose it is because it's a former runner from last week, and I like continuations. I could have easily played LLX or INPX. Either one of them were both continuation because LLX was on my list last week. I don't even know. I think I traded INPX last week. So when you have success with something and you see it once, you tend to go back to it if you see it popping again because you know that it's already proved that it can run. This looks like crap though. Look at what happens. Okay, so one of the things that I'm just kind of doing to make sense to me when it comes to taking targets, I said 50. Okay, which means I needed 55 cents to get a 10% move, which is what I generally look for. Okay, at the open, this huge red candle, this bearish candle, the movement happened at 54ish, right? The body of the candle starts at like basically 54, and so this thing came down immediately and it hit my target area or entry area, and so of course I set the limit and it came down and I actually got executed at 49, which is a yay for me, right? And then the next candle, it turns around, boom, and it goes. And I usually put my execution order, right at where the body started of the sell-off because that's the area to beat. This is a tough area to beat. If you beat this area, we're going to see LLEX. We're going to see the example of the difference. If you beat this area and you keep going, then that thing is going to run. But because it happened so fast, I didn't get to do it, right? So now I'm watching level 2 and I'm watching this. And so I'm seeing, okay, first of all, it barely got to VWAP. It didn't even close over VWAP. That always tells me that this might not be a strong move. So I might want to tighten my stop. So essentially what I did from there is I allowed it to play out a couple minutes and I was noticing weakness and I just said, listen, okay, here's the next area to beat right here. And that area was 53. I put my target in for 53. It went to what is this high? 53.6. I got executed. I was out a winner. Okay, I made about 8% off of this. I'm happy with that. You have to be able to adjust on the fly. This is, you can't say I put my order in at 50. I want 55. It don't go like that. You have to actually watch the chart. You have to watch level 2 and see where the sellers are. The chart told me the sellers are right here. Without even looking at level 2, the chart told me the best place at this point to get executed would have been here. And then if it continues, fine, but it doesn't matter because you won. You would have had a 9% win at 54. Actually, for me, it would have been a 10% win because I got executed at 49. But the bottom line is you have to actually adjust. And when you see weakness, okay, you need to know where the bodies of the candles that matter are. Okay, so this body right here told me, hey, this is probably my last case scenario. And so I put that in. Now look, soon as I put that in, it does this, right? And what happens if I would have been holding and hoping, it's going to do it, it's going to do it. It's showing me weakness. Look at that next candle. Boom, sold all the way off to entry. And now we're down here at 46. This is how you can turn a winner into a loser by being greedy. Okay, I saw what I wanted. It did not happen. I missed it the first time. And as opposed to saying, no, I'm waiting for that 10%, because I used to do that. I'm looking at the chart and I'm seeing it can't even hold VWAP. I'm seeing it ain't strong enough. I'm like, you know what? I better go ahead and cut right now. I'd rather take a small win than any loss. Any loss. I'd rather take a small win than any loss. Okay, because tomorrow the market's open tomorrow. I got news for you. It's open Monday through Friday for the remainder of 2020, barring certain holidays. So yeah, man. That was what happened for me. Now let me go to LLEX because it turns out that this was the better play. Do we know this pre-market? We don't. You really don't. Unless that you knew that like there was an offering going on, or then if there was some news that just shows you that this should not have worked. Now remember, I said 60 on LLEX. It came down in the 60 right here. Okay, And this one looked weak. Truth be told, I would have been executed on this second candle, okay, which means at 60, I'm looking for 66. But let's look at where the candle starts to sell off at. Look at the body of this candle. It starts to sell off at 65. So really, best case scenario would have been 65.5. It actually did it in the next candle, which would have mean I would have been in and out of a trade in less than 2 minutes. Okay, and that's only if I would have executed properly. But if I didn't, this actually looks similar to INPX up until this point, and then all of a sudden it explodes. And look at it now. Now it's at 83-ish, 86. You can't predict. Oh well, it's actually it's dipping back down now. Look at this. This is a good dip buy area. Boom, right there. Anyhow, this is why you draw those lines of support and resistance, even with pre-market. Some people don't even attest to pre-market, but I love pre-market data because it's more data. I just want you to understand what you think about it. It's like, imagine this. Imagine coming to the game at halftime and you're being forced to place a bet on who's going to win, but you didn't see what happened at halftime, at the first half. Well, if you don't know, it's going to be hard to make a bet, right? But if you've seen the first half, you might say, hey, considering what I saw first half, this is what's going on. I'm going to bet on this team, right? Well, this to me is the first half, and this to me is the second half. Everything that happens here is the second half. So I'm going to use all the data that I can to assist me in my decision making, right? And that's really important. So anyhow, this thing now is pulling back. This is a perfect opportunity for a dip buy. I probably would wait for this area right here. I would wait for 67. And the reason for that is it already pulled back to this one. And if this thing is going to be really strong, it ain't going to dip no lower than 74. Okay, we see that's the price right here. But I would wait. I would wait to right here, and I'm going to back trade this later on today so I can see exactly what happened. I would wait to right here. That would be where I would buy. I would be a buyer right here, especially because since it's ran, it would be the first time that it touched this area and it would have an opportunity to make a move. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. The point is, you can't predict any of these things that's going to happen to an extent. But you do know that there were buyers at 60. They showed you this pre-market. This thing had been above 60 since 7 East Coast time, which would be 5 my time. And it didn't touch 60 again until over here, and it still stayed above it. And that's the point. So that tells me that's a strong area to buy today, because that's what pre-market is saying. Okay, I always want to reiterate. I always look at what's popping pre-market, and those stocks obey. I should say they what's the term? They behave slightly differently than they normally do because of all of the volume and energy and attention that's on it. Okay, tomorrow the stock might have 300,000 people trading it. It's going to be a completely different stock. But today, it's an animal, okay, because of all of that volume. And that's why I focus on that. Plus, it was a huge percent. Look at this point, it's a 70% gainer. This morning, it was probably at 20%. Look at some of these. 68, 268% gainer. I got to look at that. That might be one I want to back trade, the CTIB. 46% gainer. 46% gainer, 32% gainer. INPX, it's pulled back so much now, it's only a 4% gainer. But at early in the morning, it was a 20% gainer. Good morning, Camille. You didn't even say good morning. You just want to come watch something. You didn't give me a hug. You didn't do any of those things. Okay? And no, it's school day, so we don't watch TV in the morning on school day. You ain't gonna be able to see anything until you get dressed. Yeah, well, after you get dressed and you ate breakfast and everything. Okay, did you sleep good? Yeah. Hey, let me finish this video real quick, okay? I'm almost done. So we won't know what's going on. I'll have to back trade these things, and this is why I back trade. But what the point is, the way that I back trade is the same way that I prep myself in the morning, which is why I was able to cash INPX for a small win. Would I love to be in LLEX? Absolutely. Who wouldn't, right? Post facto. But your ability to see these things before it happens, and your ability to train yourself before it happens, that's what matters most. Okay, and even when this thing pulled back, it wouldn't even stop me out, because my stop loss would have been right here. I would have been right up under here. If this thing cracks this, then this thing is done. Okay, Actually, I wouldn't have been that far. I would have actually probably had, because my stop loss is 5. I go by percentage. So 5% is what I would have been looking at. So, it is what it is. Anyhow, I'm going to allow this to render. I just wanted you guys to see that practice makes perfect. I might have lost that trade today, no telling. But the way that I prepare by doing my back testing, which is the same way that I prepare for the pre-market, okay, and if you can go, I got a video on back testing, so you can see that the way that I prepare, it's all the same. That's why when I get into market hours, I'm very calm. When I see what I want to happen, I pull the trigger. I don't panic. And the biggest thing that I need to do as soon as I get executed in the trade, I need to go ahead and already set those limits and target executions, because that's really where I'm like, that's the next thing that I need to work on. And once I get those things down, at that point, it's just wash, rinse, repeat. You just keep doing the same things that make you successful. You don't try to reinvent the wheel. All that's not necessary. Just do the same things that make you successful. Okay. All right. I'll see you later.